Okay, so what I'm doing today is I'm taking a Binize radio and I'm using it's going into a '09 Ram 2500 with a premium sound. It's an Infinity sound system, and I have to use the replacement radio kit, the RP4-CH11. Now, with the CH11 it comes with this little box and this wiring harness adapter for your factory stereo. Most of the wires, this wiring harness came with the radio. All your speaker wires are color coded and they match an industry standard. So you have a white with a black stripe and a white, and a set of gray, green, and purple. Those make up your speakers. Now, according to the interface module, ever so helpful, they gave you this little chart that says, hey, if you use the vehicle with a factory amp, then it only takes 2 channels. So what they want you to do is take the back 2 speakers and make them the front 2 speakers. But I simply just wired it the way it's supposed to go, even though I do have a factory installed amp. A couple other things that we have are illumination, and that is going from orange to orange and white. Again, because the interface module has a white stripe on there, I don't know why they wouldn't just stick with the standard, but that's when you turn your dome light upper or lower at nighttime. You also have a battery plus. Now, the radio has 1, the harness has 2. So you simply splice those 2 together into the 1. So both yellow wires will connect to the 1 yellow wire on your radio. Accessory. This is where, when you turn on the key without turning on the car, the radio will actually turn on. And then we have our ground. Again, all these were labeled on the radio's harness. I don't know why PAC couldn't do it on their harness. A lot more expensive for this little adapter. Ground. There's 2 ground wires on the PAC harness and 1 on the radio. Now, one thing that's a little different. You have the antenna wire on your radio harness. It's a blue wire that says antenna or ant. With this, you have to connect it to the blue and white wire, not the blue wire. There's a simple blue wire. You want to connect it to the blue and white wire to your antenna, and this will turn on your amplifier. That's referenced in a very small little space where you have to read the manual for the CH1 that says the blue and white turns on the input, and over here the blue is the antenna on input. So you have to match the blue with the blue and white. My car, then you would want to just cap off the blue wire because it's not being used. You also have key 1, key 2. My vehicle doesn't have these. If your car has them, they would be connected appropriately. These are for security systems. For example, if you have a brake control, some of them will be like that. And you have a back. Now, this back is to be supplied with power. My harness doesn't have a reverse indicator. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you later, is this goes to my backup camera. My truck did not come with a factory installed backup camera, so I bought a aftermarket one from eBay for a few bucks, and this will go to that directly. I'm not going to cover splicing wires. There's plenty of videos out there that show you how to do that, whether you use crimp caps, a soldering iron with tape, or these little gems right here that have solder built into them. You simply melt that in the heat shrink. However you want to do it, Like I said, there's plenty others out there. The pack also has a navigation output. Now, I'm not going to use those because my radio, the Binize, has navigation built into it, so I'm not even going to use those. One other word that you're going to need is an adapter for your antenna. Goes from the old style into a newer style, so that might be another part on top of the wiring interface that you're going to need to put your radio in, your aftermarket radio. This little adapter here that came with the radio, this is for our backup camera. I'll show you that when we do our backup camera and we install this into my truck. Thanks for watching.